Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. I know people keep jumping on, but we'll have a couple minutes before your actual presentation starts. So hello and welcome everyone to Virtual30, our live weekly series happening every Tuesday. If this is your first time, well, thank you for joining. If it might be your third time. So thank you everyone for coming on today. Today we have Keith Giffney, the Chief Operating Officer of Vsoft, and he'll be sharing his insights on post-COVID-19 preparedness. Before we begin, if you've been on these past sessions, every week we like to share a working from home picture, just because we're all still in the same boat here, still stuck at home. So we thought it'd be nice to share how other people are handling it. So this week we have Josh. He sent us this picture in Cincinnati with his baby, also named Josh. So hi to both Joshes. I hope, Josh, you were able to join us today. Hopefully your baby's sleeping right now and keep giving you some peace. So if you'd like to be featured, we'd love to see your pictures. Just send your details and pictures to virtual30series@gmail.com.
Brianna, I'm not sure if it's moved because mine hasn't, just so you know.
It hasn't moved. Oop. Okay, let me try this. I tried this last time.
Wow.
Can you see it now?
I see the virtual, yeah.
Do you see the baby?
There we go. You got it.
I don't know why it does that, but
that's anyway, all right.
Yeah, this is Josh. So thank you for sharing this picture. I'll let you.
Adorable little guy.
He has a cute baby. So before we start, my name is Brianna Colder, and I'm the Corporate Project and Event Coordinator for Vsoft, and also the moderator of this weekly series. So you may have seen me in past weeks, but if not, thank you for joining today. And we have Keith with us here today. So I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Keith Giffney. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Vsoft Consulting. I've been with the organization since the beginning of the year. I've been in the IT service industry going now on 28 years, which is actually scary to say.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Perfect. So today, Keith will be covering, hello everyone, he'll be covering, as I mentioned, post-COVID-19 preparedness and how these certain circumstances can define you and your company. And he'll be focusing on 4 different aspects: company culture, protecting your top talent, sales and marketing strategy, and then cost reduction initiatives. So we have a Q&A session at the end. So if you think of any questions, just jot them down in the chat feature or the Q&A box for Keith, and we will get them answered. And the goal of today and all Virtual30 presentations is to get everything done in 30 minutes or less. So I will let you take it from here, Keith.
You bet. And I think I'm going to give you some time back potentially here. So thank you, Brianna, for the lovely introduction. And thank you everyone for taking time to join us today. We hope that this journey we're about to take you on, will bring some value to you and your organizations. Before we do get started, I do have a confession to make. I've never been so excited about the thought of getting a haircut. I'm sure many of you are like me. I know my wife is looking to get her hair done as well. So today I'll be sharing with you some of our own shortcomings, challenges and successes that we've had, and what we've learned from our clients, and the wonderful guidance and thought leadership that Gartner's provided us. During this disruption in all our lives and businesses, I truly believe the key is to focus on learning and growing as individuals and as organizations. Let's look at this pause, as an opportunity to improve and take great pride in knowing we will overcome this adversity we're facing today, both personally and professionally. We'll all have a story to tell from this, so let's do all we can to make it a great one. I truly believe that circumstances define us as individuals and as a company. As a leadership team, we've talked about what we want our company to look like on the other side of this pandemic. What can we do to enrich our organization, in the lives of our employees, and what makes our North Star, make that our North Star when making tough and crucial decisions, right? And we're challenged every day to live up to that. Culture is the key to every organization. So this pause allows us to find ways to protect and even enhance that culture. Leadership's role is instrumental during these times, right? How do we lead during a crisis? How do we alleviate the anxiety our employees, our customers, and our partners are facing? How do we provide them, with the hope and guidance they're looking for? That's through transparency, open and honest communication, collaboration, and inclusion with those we work with. Not only are these great ways to lead during these times, but they're the most effective ways to lead all the time. I believe our president, Pernavere, and our director of HR, Lisa Hines, they've done an amazing job, providing weekly updates to our employees, clients, and partners, around the COVID-19. At VSOF, we had to make some tough decisions early on, but I think by bringing our employees together to help understand why we made these decisions, and sharing with them our overall direction of the company, I believe it helped alleviate some of the unknown and anxiety our employees were feeling. And I'm sure it's still out there, right? So employees are looking for leaders that will listen to their needs, make clear and concise decisions, provide the necessary overall guidance and overall calmness during these times. We as leaders have to be more mindful than ever and do our best to create an environment of psychological safety, which can be very challenging during these times for sure, right? So culture is more than just the physical environment. It's not just coming into a certain office, right? Culture is what we do consistently. It's rooting for each other. It's doing what we say we're going to do. It's being on time. It's accountability. It's a focus on service excellence. At VSOF, we focus on 3 key areas to really measure our culture. Are our employees engaged? Are they energized? And are they enabled? And that's really our responsibility to make sure they are. I think some of the most fun, we've had as a company during these times, it's been the virtual happy hours. So maybe some of your organizations have not done that. If you have, I really highly recommend it. It's a great way to connect with your employees, learn more about their personal lives. You get to some introduction to their kids, their pets, spouses, and maybe some things that you may even be surprised about. But it truly is a great time to share some laughter together. And I think that's what we all need at this point, right? So let's all try to lead by example, focus on serving others and strive every day to have a positive mental attitude to create that right culture. There's a saying I really love is, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. But if you want to go somewhere far, go together. We're all in this together. So in regards to talent, our people, that's our greatest assets. So I encourage all of you as leaders to pick up the phone, get to know your coworkers and employees, and not just leaders, but even other employees. Get to reach out to them, right? Get their thoughts and ideas. Be mindful of what they're going through. And I know myself, I need to do a better job at that. I have all good intentions to do it, and I find myself missing out on those opportunities. I know those things that I need to improve on. Find ways to be more thoughtful and empathetic during these times for your employees out there. One of the things that I want to share with you that we did just last week is each VSOF employee received a goodie package in the mail from, with a warm note from our president, Pernavere. The feedback we received was really priceless. And, probably like many organizations out there, we've been looking at ways to protect our organization and to cut some costs, and what are some necessary things that we need to do. I'm just so glad that we made that decision not to cut that program out, because again, the feedback we received. So it's a great way to show appreciation, and I appreciate all the employees that gave us that positive feedback as well. So sorry there was no alcohol in that for some of you. So make decisions that will have a positive impact on your current employees, and go above and beyond to recognize your employees during these times. I mean, these are, sweat the small stuff when it comes to that. We need to be connected as much as possible, and we need to relieve some of that anxiety that our employees are feeling out there, and they need to feel connected and know that they're appreciated. Now is actually a perfect time, though, to help your employees in providing additional training. It might be of your offerings. It could be of different systems. That could be leadership training, could be project management training, sales training. Really is a great time to educate and better your employees. We do at times have to make tough decisions, and if you have to make cuts, we recommend focus on protecting those that earn the right. For us, when we had to make those tough decisions ourselves, we focused on culture, dedication, strong leadership, work ethic, and production. So when you're evaluating that, keep some certain things in mind that you want to determine when you make those decisions, but do it in the mindset of that you're protecting those that have actually earned the right. We also have a great opportunity to attract new talent. The question is, can you afford to miss out on the available talent that's hitting the market today? In 2008, during the last recession, companies that hired new sales producers while other companies within their industries were letting go of their producers, those companies came out of the recession quicker and grew exponentially faster after the recession compared to their competitors, right? So they were actually able to capture the talent, speed up that sales cycle, and maybe not every organization is able to do that. Scary thing is right now, looking at recent surveys just over the last 2 weeks, it's showing that most companies are focused on cutting their sales and marketing departments more than any other areas within their company. You know, we work with Gartner as a partner, and they strongly encourage us not to take this path, and that's one of the things we wanted to pass on to you as well. There are more A players available today compared to the past, over the past 8 years. So hire for the future, you know, take advantage of the situation. Start talking now to top talent within your markets, you know, even if you can't hire today. You know, from a sales and marketing strategy standpoint, it's okay to pivot during these times, but make sure you have a long-term strategy in mind. You know, you've got to think about how will the strategies you create today play out after all it's over. You know, be careful of making those knee-jerk decisions. And, you know, I can actually share with you even some of the things and ideas that came to us that companies have come to us and asked us, can you provide us this type of talent, provide these types of folks? And these were services that we could capitalize on, but during this time period, but it really didn't fit our overall strategy. It didn't really fit who we are. We probably could have made it happen, but it's something that we would have to live with. So be careful of that. Remember, where the eyes go, the car goes, and that could be your whole organization. So I know that everyone's working hard to be empathetic during these times in the sales process. You know, listen to what your customer needs are and focus on helping and serving them. Now think about what are the products and services that you offer today that could help solve immediate problems for your clients, because that's what they're really looking for right now. You know, Gartner's guidance to us is that we should focus on 2 to 3 service offerings or product lines and show specific evidence and results that can make an immediate and positive impact for our clients. So right now, you know, we are focusing on our retainer and RPA offerings, you know, as we believe companies are looking at different cost-saving measures and, you know, to be able to do more with less. So think about it. What are those products and services that you can really focus in on and drive? Be careful of trying to offer too much even during these times. Also think about, are there other verticals that make sense for you to focus on? You know, based upon the success your products or service lines, you know, have, where can that create other opportunities? Maybe it's even into a different department within an organization. You know, maybe success that you're having in the automotive industry may actually move into, say, the healthcare or medical device industry. So think about the applications and see how that you might be able to use this time to actually take an existing product or service and to scale it into another vertical to create greater opportunities for you. I will caution you that it's, you know, complex and costly investments are going to be tough for your customer to buy right now. Customers may face challenges even if they want to buy. You know, as their buying process in, you know, their buying power has actually changed, and to be honest with you, it's become clunky, which is an interesting word. The work from home, you know, extends the sale process in ways and actually causes some, you know, buying confusion. You got to think about, you know, sometimes when you're making a decision, people just go down the hallway, ask Bob his opinion, go to talk to Susie about things. There's so much connectivity at times that you don't have today from a work from home model, okay? Look for small ways that can help your customers today that will better position yourselves in the future, right? It's also a great time to, you know, evaluate your current clients, your target list, and your current sales process. You know, really look at ways that you can refine and retool those. Also individually, what personally can you do differently to market and brand yourself? You know, those I think as individuals you can take a look at and gives you a pause and say, hey, you know, I'd like to do something different. I always want to do something different, but I never had the time to do that. And, you know, look at ways that you're branding yourself. How do your customers view you? What is your go-to-market message? You know, and this gives you great time to maybe reinvent a little bit of yourself, right? So if you haven't done so already, you know, enhance your digital presence as an organization and creation of videos is one of the top mediums that's having some of the greatest success today. Okay, and we really appreciate our marketing team has just done a wonderful job in that space, and I really encourage you guys and everybody in the organization, make sure you're doing that. Reach out to your sales teams, for all you sales managers and leaders out there, on what they need to help them during these times. One of the things that we implemented, for 15 minutes every Monday, our marketing team meets with our sales team, to let them know what their initiatives are for the week from a marketing perspective, what they're putting out on social media, what some of the videos are putting out there, and really how can sales then piggyback on some of those initiatives, and they could take some of that collateral and that material and really, use it to their own advantage, right? It's a great time to update internal and external collateral, but before doing that, make sure you seeking input from others on that, right? Who are the stakeholders that really need that material, and get their input. Again, it's a great time to do some house cleaning in that space. Flexibility, what we talk about is have flexibility while keeping accountability, right? So right now, KPIs, it's funny, I was talking to my wife the other day who's in the pharmaceutical industry, and she's just like, the KPIs just don't make sense right now. And, it just got me thinking of what we're doing as an organization and what we're measuring now and what's really fair. We are started thinking about too, what can we do to, ease some of the pain for our sellers and our producers out there as well in regards to pricing. We have certain structures that we're trying to do, but how can we help not only our producers, but how can we help maybe, even our clients during these times as well? So, flexibility, I think, is really a key thing for all of us during these times. So cost reduction leads to greater efficiencies. The time to work on the business is now and not just in the business. And we've been also very busy, when things are going and everything, the economy's been going great and we're working together and we're going to conference calls and meetings and things of that nature. And it's just the business that gets in the way with us. We really don't have time to work on the business. We all think about different things that we would do differently. And, we put it on our to-do list, or we put it on something we'll get to later. But a lot of times we just never get the chance. And this is really the chance, think about what needs fixing, but you should never had time to get to it. Take this time to retool, focus on creating a company that's going to be geared to have a more predictable and repeatable success model. We have at Vsoft, we've identified a number of redundancies, lack of process and controls. We've tweaked existing processes. We've realized in some case we're over systemizing things. We've uncovered unused licenses, probably overused licenses as well, which is a risk, right? And reoccurring costs, even on corporate cards, for services we no longer need or have, right? We would have never found those things if we really probably never had the chance or the time to take this pause to look into it. We all have different, asset management is key. We all have different hardware and software that's potentially located all over the country, maybe even people's homes, obviously, during these days. So it's really a great time to get a hold of your inventory, shoring up those and making sure that you're creating some efficiencies, around that, right? We're working hard right now to integrate systems, to create greater efficiencies and reporting, in order to make a positive impact on our employees. It's okay to ask vendors and partners for some financial relief. And, we want to thank our partners and vendors that have helped us during these times. It comes sometimes, it's necessary to go out there and ask, and we just want to thank them, but it is okay to do that. So if that's from a rent standpoint, if it's certain software partners, hardware partners, service partners, again, the mindset that we had is say, hey, how can you help us during these next 2 or 3 months? And we're going to make sure that we extend our agreement with you and provide some loyalty. We want to make sure we're also not hurting your business as well, because we are all in this together, right? So it is a great time to evaluate other new resources, new partnerships, solutions, evaluate demos, as this too shall pass, and you want to be best prepared for the future. So I want to thank you again for spending time with us today. My hope is that we all look at this disruption in our lives as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to improve, and to appreciate what is most important in our lives, our family and friends. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And we do have a couple of questions that we just got, so I'll let you answer them. Keith, the first one, what mistakes did your company make during this crisis?
Let me count them all. So I think in some instances we may have been too quick in making some decisions and too slow in making other decisions. One of the things that we're trying to do right now is actually take a look and create a roadmap of changes that we've made. And so we're kind of going back and saying, hey, we've been kind of reactive in some of this, but maybe a better way of outlining certain things. And we're kind of learning as we go. And so somewhat has been a little bit too much reactive. I think some of the things that we could have done better as well is I think we made some great strides with our consultants. I think we could have probably had a little more communication with our clients. And I think we also did a good job maybe initially, but and I think we're doing it consistently with our employees. I think it's some of the things though that we need to be probably more consistent maybe with some of our partners from a messaging standpoint and our client standpoint.
Perfect. Okay, another question. When do you think things will get back to normal? Great question.
So what normal really is these days, right? My concern is when people have not been buying over the last month or so, as the financials come into organizations, my concern is, we had a call with a client today that actually pushed out an opportunity. And probably 2 weeks ago, they were ready to pretty much sign today or that day. But right now what's happening is we're seeing opportunities because people really don't know. I mean, I think when we say we're all in this together, it is impacting everybody for the most part. I mean, there are some key technology companies, and retail companies that are having some success in the healthcare space. But right now, for the most part, most of the verticals and industries are being impacted. So it is hard to tell. We are seeing, I would say, more organizations talking to us about, as we talked about retooling in this, talking about what are some future, what are solutions that we offer today that could potentially be down the road. So they're actually being more opportunistic. There's a cut model where organizations are cutting everything. There's a retooling model. And then the next model is a growth model. And I think we're at the beginning of the bell on the retooling portion of that, as companies are really trying to understand themselves when they can get going. I think people are resilient and want to get this going. I think that's the positive attitude we see, but the facts are the facts. And I guess we're still all waiting to kind of see that. I could tell you also from our standpoint, we are seeing an uptick in some of our key metrics in data analytics that have been providing some positive results. So.
Awesome. Okay, we got one more in here. What is the best that comes from this COVID crisis for Vsoft?
What is the best thing, I think, is just pretty much what we've shared today is, being a much more efficient organization, hopefully a more caring information organization. Not that we weren't in the past, but I think it's really making sure that we're doing everything to protect our employees and to provide an organization on the other side of that focuses on a solid culture, and that focuses on strong leadership, that focuses on efficiencies, and doing all that we can to make sure that we are creating those 3 key areas of being energized, engaged, and enable culture. Culture is the key thing. I think one of the things we were concerned about is how do we keep or grow the culture during these times, right? But I think there's a lot of things we're doing just to create some efficiencies behind the scenes and doing a lot of different things that we can to hopefully create those efficiencies and our employees will see. So the key for us is to stay together, stay strong, and, to stay positive.
Perfect. And if anyone else has any questions, you can throw them in now. That's all we have for now. And if you think of any along the way, you can reach out to us. Never put this up. But if that's all we have for now, I just want to say thank you, Keith, for taking the time today. I know you got a busy schedule all the time, but if you want to reach him directly, his email is listed there. And I also just put it in the chat. So if you want to reach him or just me in general, then our contact information is in the chat. So be sure you join us next week, May 5th. Crazy that we're already going to be in May. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But our topic next week is automation by any means, and we'll have a panelist discussion with Manoj Iragavarapu, who's the managing director for Vsauce Labs, and then
good job pronouncing that.
Arsky, the AI and IoT practice head for Vsauce. So they will both be on next week. And then that is all we have for you today. But if you're interested in being a panelist or know someone that would make a good panelist, you can reach out to us at virtual30series@gmail.com. That is in the chat for you, and I will leave the screen up so you can get that information down if you need it. But that is all we have for you today. We got
Thank you, everybody.
Under 30 minutes. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Keith.
Stay positive.
Bye.